That leads us right into Forsberg's four. And Forsberg, I'm assuming it's all good stuff today.
I mean, there's nothing negative that we can possibly bring up. And in fact, it just focuses on how good the offense has been. Like, I just want to, before I even get into the bigger numbers, just think of this. 120.9 offensive rating is 5 points better than the next best team and 3.5 points better than the old record. So if they even come close to maintaining this, it'll be amazing. But we start with number one, which is 47.8%. And Amina, you ask me all the time, am I comfortable with the Celtics shooting so many threes? Well, 47.8% of their shots this year are coming from beyond the arc. And there's certainly times where I'm like, go to the basket.
A little nervous.
But they're making 40.8% of them. Like,
they're making them.
If you're going to lead the league in three-point percentage, fire away as much as you'd like. And what I love most about this offense is they've figured it out. With their personnel, threes and finishing at the rim, they've got the best shot profile that I've seen in years. And right now, I feel like they have the best offense I've seen in New England since Brady and Moss in 2007.
Yeah, we haven't seen that in a very, very long time
here
in New England. All right, coming in at number two, what do you got for us?
Number two is 5, which is the number of three-point shooters shooting over 45% this year. And so you got Al at 48.7, Hauser at 48.9, Brogdon at 46.9, White at 45.3, and Grant at 45.2. I mean, what did we sit here and do in the finals when on all those 5 guys that I listed, or well, not all of them were here, but the ones that were not making shots. And
we're crying.
It blows my mind that they are this good. But why? Because in part that Malcolm Brogdon is here and driving to the basket and creating for these guys, and they're just sitting there in their spots and knocking down shots. Credit to Grant Williams for being even more consistent than he was a year ago. Credit to Sam Hauser for getting thrown into a larger role and being ready. Credit to Al Horford for finding whatever time machine Blake Griffin jumped into last night and being able to shoot 6% above his best career ever average. So I'm just blown away that they've been this good, but again, it comes back to it. They're generating good shots, Amina.
Whatever time machine that Al Horford and Blake Griffin found this season, I want to get into that time machine as well.
Same.
I'm just saying, I need to find out the information on that. All right, what's coming in at number 3?
Number 3 is 110.1, and that is what the Celtics offense is averaging, points per 100 possession in the half court. This is an absurd number because in the half court, things are supposed to bog down. Anything north of 100 feels good. In fact, the second place right now is Dallas at 102.5. That's so Celtics are 7.6 better. What this tells me is you want to run, you want to get in transition, you don't want to let the opposing defense get set. But when you can score at that level, even when defenses are getting set, that means this is sustainable. That means that you're in a playoff series when stuff starts to bog down, you're going to still find a way to create offense. And it starts with ball movement. It starts with like the first line being able to crack the defense and get that ball moving. I'm just so impressed with this way. Like, this isn't a fluky thing. People keep asking me, is it sustainable?
Right.
Like, yeah, like it's the three-point shooting might cool off a little bit, but they're going to still be able to generate good shots. And if you score anywhere near that number in the postseason, you will win a lot of games.
That's been the big question for me this season, if that shooting is sustainable. You know how I feel about that three-point shot, and I think I still have PTSD from last season with the turnovers and the three-pointers. But hey, if it's working, then it's working. All right, last but not least, what do you got?
Last but not least is 9.1, which is the number of assists Marcus Smart is averaging over his last 11 games. Now, Marcus had a bumpy start to the year. I felt like, whether we're just taking too many shots, kind of getting away from his quarterbacking ways. But over the last few games, it seems like he's really settled in. His chemistry with Jalen is off the charts. We'll talk about that in a second. But he's just, that first quarter last night, he almost had a double-double.
Yeah.
And Marcus, when he wants to, is the best quarterback in New England. Better than anyone you'll find down in Foxborough at directing the offense and finding ways to make everyone better. I could just sit here. Like, it's not just the simple passes that he's making. He's throwing like crazy no looks to Jalen cutting on the baseline. Marcus is so much fun to watch right now, and if you get this version of Marcus, this team is just on a whole nother level. So to all the haters out there that kept telling us that Marcus Smart isn't a point guard, he can't be the point guard, they can't direct this offense, well, you're all a little bit quiet right now.
I like how you keep taking shots at the Patriots. I'm not going to look, the Patriots quarterback, I'm just saying, I'm just throwing it out there.